proof. Now that we know that he's full of shit, we're talking about the LiverKing, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Just weeks after a Netflix documentary revealed his family's fractured dynamics, the self-proclaimed Ancestral God, LiverKing, has been arrested in Austin, Texas on terroristic threat charges, spiraling into an alarming public breakdown. Today, we're dissecting the shocking and deeply disturbing downfall of LiverKing. We'll unravel the catalyst behind his public meltdown, the unsettling threats directed at Joe Rogan, and the bizarre, erratic behavior that led to his arrest, exposing the grim reality of a man consumed by his own online persona. When a public figure you follow begins exhibiting erratic or threatening behavior online, what's your immediate reaction? Do you report, observe, or distance yourself? Where do you draw the line for online safety? Share your approach below. Just last month, a Netflix documentary offered a glimpse into the bizarre world of LiverKing and his family. In that video, I discussed how little seemed to have changed for this modern-day snake oil salesman, still peddling his eccentric lifestyle, now with the surprising addition of vegetables, all while, in my opinion, clearly still on copious amounts of steroids. He continued to project an air of intellectual superiority, acting smarter than everyone else in the room. A particularly striking element was the relationship dynamic within his liver family. His wife appeared as deeply invested in the collective delusions as the LiverKing himself, the head honcho. However, his children, especially the elder son, Stryker, seemed to possess a keen awareness, already seeing through the smoking mirrors. As Stryker approached adulthood and the prospect of leaving home for a more conventional life, his on-screen demeanor, often pissed off or emotionally shut down, spoke volumes. You could almost feel the resentment towards his father through the screen, as captured in the poignant exchange. What did you bring? My soul, my body. The documentary itself hinted at the LiverKing being even more out of his mind than ever, a chilling foreshadowing that is now manifested in reality. Only a month after the Netflix documentary's release, the Ancestral God himself has been arrested in Austin, Texas, facing terroristic threat charges. The immediate catalyst for this dramatic turn appears to be a series of increasingly bizarre online rants from the LiverKing, primarily directed at individuals he felt had destroyed his reputation. His primary target, Joe Rogan, who had been one of his main detractors from the start, openly questioning and claiming he was on steroids. You ask him if he has he said it was a joke. He said he doesn't have them. He's fucking jacked. Says he's clean too. I asked him about steroids. Not true. Well, the podcast comes out on Birdcast. Everyone check it out. Tell you that right now? Test that guy. Rogan's skeptical stance clearly festered in the LiverKing's psyche. His anger also extended to Derek from More Plates, More Dates, who famously exposed the LiverKing for his steroid use with hard proof. This exposure, which revealed him as full of SHT, deeply wounded the LiverKing's ego. While many observers, myself included, largely could see through it, the deception had been profound. Even a lot of big names reached out after Derek's expose, stating, "I didn't think he was natural, but this guy literally right to my face would say, like blatantly, I am natural." These moments of public accountability seem to have deeply scarred the LiverKing, leaving him vulnerable to a complete mental breakdown. The past few days saw the LiverKing embark on a series of online random tangents, characterized by increasingly disturbing and incoherent ramblings. These videos, which I personally analyzed, were so unsettling that they actually had nightmares, affirming that my dreams were completely fed. The content surpassed mere eccentricity. The shit he was posting made a foozy manic episode look like a walk in the park. Initially, he appeared to be engaging in his usual content, walking around his property and speaking to his camera. However, viewers quickly noted a significant injury to his face, and he appeared extra dirty and like he had not slept in days. Even for his already flamboyant persona, his thoughts seemed rambled, and it was evident this was not an act. He explicitly stated, "It won't be edited like everything else. The movie wasn't the truth. My family is received everywhere in the world. Anywhere that they go, anyone who's seen the movie, they receive my family with a lesser version of what their truth actually is, and they don't deserve that." The movie he was referring to was the Netflix documentary. It seems its release was the decisive catalyst in this situation that broke the camel's back and made him really lose his mind. He cryptically warned, "Remind me to not say the three entities that are evil as F ya, that thought you could make money by trying to destroy, by doing things that weren't true. Remind me to not say their names because they don't deserve any of that." The three entities were clearly the Netflix documentary producers, Joe Rogan and Derek. LiverKing was now going scorched earth on them, convinced they ruined his life, completely detached from any sense of personal accountability for his deceptions. As his public breakdown intensified, LiverKing's online posts became even darker. He was seen walking around his house, rambling nonsense, acting as if his family is there hanging out while the house is dead silent. It was genuinely unsettling, giving the impression that he was alone with his 3 dogs. This eerie silence around his purported family deeply disturbed viewers, who began to express serious concern for their well-being. It was during this period that he first explicitly called out Joe Rogan by name. "I'm picking a fight with Joe Rogan. I'm picking a fight. I am because it's out of principle. I'm not going to go fight with this guy. Do you see? I don't know. Hopefully you can see. Do you see that guy? Can you see him? That's him. I'm picking a fight with him because I think that it matters to me. It matters to me." He then extended a bizarre invitation. "After the fight, I'm inviting Joe Rogan to my house, his family to meet my family, together to be together after the fight, and I really hope you come. I hope that you look as good as I look." The message is what matters, the name doesn't, and you don't get to talk hashed about people. This stream of incoherent thought and increasingly aggressive challenges continued for days. In one particularly unsettling clip, he was seen preparing for an enema, stating, "In case you didn't know, I take shitis on the ground. This is where I lay in the shower. I lay it on the ground. That's my enema bucket. This is my enema bucket right there. And that's what I'm about to do is I'm going to try and get a thing worked out." Official weigh-in, LiverKing 192. Yeah, it was here that he first directly threatened to travel and kick his A the very next day. "I'll see you tomorrow." 192, probably about weigh the same. "Probably you're taller than me. I'm a fing bro. I'm a fing. I'll be ready whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready. Or you can release me of this fight and you can just welcome me right onto the show tomorrow. And I will donate $1 million to a charity of my choosing. Good and true. That's also a possibility. Otherwise it's bloody fing murder, bro. Bloody murder. Don't look like I weigh that much. I have a gut problem right now. You see it? Look how boom, boom, boom." His body appeared all fucked up, and the constant Rogan threats continued relentlessly. The constant invocation of Joe Rogan's name became a drinking game for viewers. If this was a drinking game where you took a shot every time that he mentions Joe, you would be dead on the floor. LiverKing's online behavior spiraled further, punctuated by increasingly aggressive calls to Rogan. "Joe Rogan, with Joe Rogan. That's Joe Rogan, bro. Just fing invite me on. I actually challenged Joe Rogan to a fight 3 a.m. in the morning. I'm trying to pick a fight with Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan." He even provided a password. "F you, Joe Ro," adding a deeply concerning layer to his ramblings. It was rumored that within this box there was a gun, a rumor LiverKing himself would later confirm. People immediately assumed this firearm was meant to handle Joe Rogan. Throughout these disturbing clips, and even during his later trip to Austin, he conspicuously carried this box with him, hinting at its ominous contents. He would ask his audience, "If you were to take a picture of this, what do you see? Technology, technology, technology." This period marked a severe decline into complete incoherence. He would address his sons and wife directly, yet they are nowhere to be seen or heard, creating a truly creepy and unsettling atmosphere within his supposedly occupied home. The next day, he inexplicably claimed they had a family day on the lake, seemingly returning to a more normal form. He stated that his management wanted him to delete all of those weirded videos that he had been posting, to which he defiantly responded, "I wasn't on drugs then. I'm not on any drug right now. I'm upset. I'm mad. I will honor my family, and I didn't ask anyone's permission to post those videos because I'm my fing man. I posted those videos." He then descended into tears, blaming other YouTubers for covering his downfall, declaring, "You are not a real man if you do this." This was supremely ironic, given his own desperation for online validation had literally drove him off a mental cliff. The pattern continued. By day, he appeared relatively stable, but at night, he became completely fing unhinged. He threatened, "You have to make videos that are interesting with cockroaches and dog." And then, "Joe Rogan, I'm calling you out. My name's Liberty. Manto man. I'm picking a fight with you." The escalation of LiverKing's threats, including his repeated claims of wanting to fight one of the most famous people on earth while brandishing 2 guns in your hands, dancing around, and explicitly counting down the moments until he reached him, was a profoundly reckless move. The repeated mentions of his family at one point stating he was going to track him down painted a disturbing picture. He then actually posted a video of himself in a fleet of vehicles as they embarked on this trip to Austin to hunt Joe Rogan down. He filmed himself pulling up to the capital of Texas, asking, "What's the capital of Texas? What's the capital of Texas?" "Houston. Houston. It's Houston. Guess what? You're dead. Fucks you. You're dead. You're dead." The day of his planned face-to-face confrontation with Rogan began with a truly bizarre ritual. He started the day by taking 4 cups of coffee up his A, a practice he demonstrated, confirming, "This is Mr. Enema Bucket. That's a coffee. Keep the best kind, so I can drink some of the coffee." Both ways, that's what I'm doing right now. This is like the 4th one that I'm doing, and that's how I'm doing it. From this point, he must have received word that he would be arrested for traveling to Austin and making what the police describe as a terroristic threat. Pacing around his hotel at the Four Seasons, he rambled worse than ever, wearing a hoodie with a Joe Rogan vs. LiverKing logo, prompting speculation about a setup, though his erratic behavior strongly suggested genuine instability. Throughout the 32-minute clip, he never stops talking nonsense, while the people around him strangely act like it's totally normal. He also conspicuously had a variety of weapons at his disposal that he intended to bring with him. This video notably marked the first time that we see his wife and kids since he started going on these tangents, their visible fear a stark contrast to his bravado. We're the LiverKing family, a real king, a real queen who's kinda scared. The striker over here is kind of scared. Dad's getting arrested again. We've already been through it once, the first time. Do you remember what I said? How much time do you think we have? Wait, they're unmarked. They're the police because I saw their badge. How do you know? The real badges? Because I'm worked in law enforcement for a very long time. And so, you know, it's a real badge. Yes? How do you know? Legit. After his coffee enema, taken through his mouth this time, he gave his family a final speech, a final hug, and then surrendered himself to the police. If this shocking unraveling of a public figure has left you speechless, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. We're constantly dissecting the most bizarre and often tragic stories of internet fame gone wrong, ensuring you stay in the loop. Your support helps us continue exposing these compelling and sometimes disturbing narratives. After LiverKing's surrender, his wife appeared surprisingly unfazed, expecting a quick release. It's late, we got to process you. He'll bail out, but we're talking probably 24 hours. 24 hours? Maybe first thing tomorrow when he sees the judge. This casual demeanor, even as he was thrown into the back of a patrol car, suggests a troubling familiarity with such incidents. Indeed, only 24 hours later, this guy was out of jail, and his mugshot quickly went viral, fueling the narrative of his public spiral. In a bizarre twist, LiverKing then claimed that the weapon in the box, which prompted his arrest, was actually a present for Joe Rogan, a twisted peace offering for him and his mothership colleagues. He rambled, "You thought was a bomb or something inside that box was actually a present back for you and your mothership colleagues for having my wife and me and mothership that I've held onto for a while, just looking for the right time to give it to you." Since his release, he has relentlessly continued to post online, almost around the clock. He recently revealed, "I've been given the gift of a restraining order just recently," adding, "because I just had to wash the jail off of me." Despite the restraining order, he still claims that he wants to fight Joe Rogan, but now, unable to call him by name, he cryptically refers to him as Seth Rogen. His behavior remains deeply concerning. He even took time to angrily dog walk his dogs on camera, shouting, "Cut it the fuck out, that's not okay. Sit, both y'all sit." This aggression, even directed at his pets, underscores his continued mental instability. LiverKing's very public spiral is a deeply sad and potent lesson about the corrosive effects of unchecked online validation. It illustrates how a seemingly successful individual can become so consumed by internet clout that it literally destroys his brain. It's either that, as suggested, or a terrifying scenario where a parasite from all the raw meat finally got up there and has been eating his cerebrum for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The tragedy lies in his evident need for help and the urgent imperative for him to step away from the internet. The question remains, at what point do platforms like Instagram and TikTok intervene to stop him from posting, given his clear mental distress and legitimate threat to someone publicly over and over again? Even after his arrest, LiverKing is still talking about wanting to find Joe's family this morning, despite the direct consequences. While I genuinely feel bad for him and his very public spiral online, particularly when considering the documentary's revelations about his fatherless upbringing and his reliance on fictional figures like Rambo and Conan the Barbarian for validation, his current state is deeply concerning. It's a profound reminder that the pursuit of a manufactured persona, when divorced from reality, can lead to devastating and self-destructive outcomes.